Moo everyone, welcome to Slums Island. This is a challenge park. The last time that I presented a challenge park, I played on hardest difficulty. So after that, I kind of needed a break from hardest difficulty. So I figured, now I'm gonna go back to hard difficulty. It's still gonna be fun. Turns out the park management part of it was way too easy. I kind of wish I played this on hardest as well, but that's okay. The creative part was a lot of fun. Next time I'll go back to hardest difficulty. So let me talk to you about Slums Island. The idea is that this is a post-nuclear war, post-apocalyptic kind of thing. Everything has been destroyed, and there's this island, and people are living on it. They grouped up here because it's the only livable place. Don't be fooled by the trees in the horizon. They are radioactive, so don't touch them. They're dangerous. So yeah, this is this place where people survive. It's all reused, like recycled pieces of wood, recycled pieces of technology. Scavenge would be a better word for it. So let's go visit. As you can see, things have been boarded up at the entrance because this here is still radioactive. Obviously, gets going in and out because it's still, a park, but that's just for the park aspect of it. People living here, they don't leave. This is the first livable area here. And as soon as we reach this bridge, the path never touches the ground anymore. So this is the first ride here. I'm not gonna show it right away because it's called a Tesla burner. I'm gonna show it last. You've seen some fire during the intro and some fire here. I'm gonna show you in more detail once we ride the ride. This piece right here represents well what the park is all about. It's a mix of high-end technology and very low-end technology. Um, the whole thing is very vertical and chaotic. There is no repeat in any of the buildings. There's of course repetitive elements sometimes, but everything has been, I would say, improvised. I didn't had any plan in mind for anything, I went in, I was like, what does this building represents? And I just decorated the building. That's it. I'm gonna show. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show most of the park in the daytime. Oops, there we go. And I'm gonna show the roller coasters in the nighttime because roller coasters in the nighttime has just a great lighting. That's all. So yeah, this that I was just showing just now, but the lighting changed. Day and night cycles, basically. Um, yeah, all the buildings have sort of faded colors, pretty ugly, on purpose, obviously. I truly believe in beauty in ugliness. Anything that's ugly can be beauty if it's artistically balanced. By the way, that's a staff building right there. So, first off, let's go to Barnacle Bay. This area here is the Barnacle Bay, which is why, whoops, wrong button, and now I'm inside a building. There we go. Which is why the ride is called Barnacle Bay. It has a great view over the Barnacle Bay. Here. Um, we'll come back to the crashed ship in the background here. So let's place this at nighttime. There we go. And there we go. Okay. Let's ride this ride. Oh yeah, because it's a functional park, all my roller coasters have great stats. and make great money. So uh, I have limited the number of guests in the park, so you'll see that some of the rides actually have half empty queues and stuff like that, but the park is still making a ridiculous amount of money. I played on pause to prevent having millions because I hate having infinite money. I already have infinite money. This roller coaster is a little bit rough. That's the worst of all four roller coasters, but I still really enjoy it, so I never changed it. You'll see that there's a bunch of custom supports as well, and everything is lit by lanterns. So let's ride this thing. Now you may have noticed one thing. Here, there we go. I don't know why I paused the game. I paused the game by a habit, really. You may have noticed that during the ride, there's hands in front of your face. So every time that there's a scenery near the track, just near, the guests will put their hand in front of their face because they're scared of hitting the scenery, and you can't disable that, and it hides. Like in this case, it wasn't too bad, but in some cases, it's pretty horrible, and it hides the, it blocks the view. So in the case of this, the ancient railway, we'll come back to it later. It is the worst thing in the world. So I'm gonna place it in testing. So this way when we ride this ride, we can actually see something. So yeah, like I said, functional park. So with running economy, so you have, you know, market area here, and there's actually another market area right there. And it's mostly because when I started building the park, I had just this one ride, and then I built this second ride here, and turns out this one market area wasn't enough, so I had to build a second one. People were, I was missing cells. Yeah, just as I started talking already, as you can see, my money went up. I was in the 140 something thousand. So yeah. Oh yeah, bunch of custom supports. Every roller coaster has custom supports, not fully. I can come back here for a quick sec. Like this is a normal support. This is a custom one. I really enjoy using rooftops also for custom supports. It's really fun sinking them in. So yeah, let's keep going. Crazy cables on all the buildings. Every building except, I believe, two of them are fully connected by cables throughout the entire park. And it's a bunch of crazy cables that makes no sense. But I'm not an improvised electrician that uses spare parts and reuse the, scavenge technology for my electricity. So maybe this makes sense. You're not one either. You can't tell me otherwise. Yeah, I really enjoy every single one of these buildings. I could spend literally hours looking at them because I have throughout the building of it. And I think it's important that you can appreciate your own creation. Otherwise, what's the point of making anything, really? So this, which is currently running without any guests, was probably broken down a moment ago. This is a water pump. It has a custom ride sequence and also a custom trigger sequence. So you're seeing right now that that one is not in the default sequence. It's the intense backward flip, and it's my favorite one of all of them. I'm not gonna ride this ride because it's the experience kind of sucks. You just get very dizzy very quickly. That's all it is. But yeah, in between every sequence like this, you have these water fountains like this, and during every sequence, there's a bunch of splashes when the ride is upside down and down there. Like this one, it doesn't flip, so there's no point. But as I was talking earlier, I don't know if you noticed, there was a splash down here. And also, there's also a sequence for when the ride ends. So in between rides, you have like a cute little fountain thing. We'll get to see it in a moment, I think. So I'll just go back. There we go. That was a splash, and we missed it. So yeah, these are sort of buildings that are into each other. Performance-wise, this would have been pretty horrible, but the whole park is less than 17,000 pieces. And one of the trick is, when you have buildings like that are into each other, you can delete the inner walls. Every piece that could be deleted has been deleted to save on space. The crashed ship, I wanted to show that a moment ago. So this is the crashed ship. I believe that was during the nuclear war. And there's a piece missing here, as you can tell. And there's a power plant over there. Now, I suspect they took this piece for the power plant, but I don't know. I wasn't there when they did it, so it's not me. No idea. Here, the little sequence that I was talking about. So that's in between two rides. You have this cute little fountain thing. I had surprisingly a good amount of fun doing that. I think the whole sequence here, just timing everything with the ride, if I remember correctly, it took me like 4 hours. It's surprisingly long to do, but it's so much fun. I enjoy fountain works. So let's keep going. There's a few areas like this where it feels empty, there's not much details, and it's on purpose. I believe in using emptiness as part of the design. You know, don't just fill everything, use the gaps. Like this is very open air, very cold. That's how it feels to me. And yeah, I didn't want it to fill that up, for sure. So down here, this is called the power plant. Ride-wise, this is probably my favorite ride in the world, which I never rode. I never had a chance to ride one of these, but it looks like so much fun. And I heard from people that it is. So there's a few angles in my park that I find just amazing looking. And I call them protected views. So as I was building the park, an area like this is one of the protected views. It has an artistic balance, an artistic logic to it. And anything that I was building in this area, anything that was visible from here, had to respect this artistical balance. This is one of the building right there that's not connected to anything. And it's, you know, there's this, whenever I build a building, I'm considering, well, whenever I decorate the building, because all the buildings were built a long time ago. Uh, but yeah, I'm considering, what is this building? What does it represent? Or more like, what does it feel like? And I realized when I was putting the cables at the end that the feel of this building made it so I couldn't put any cables on it. If I did, it would ruin the whole look. So this is the power plant, like I was saying. Let me show you why I call it power plant. Uh, you're gonna see the animation in a moment here. By the way, it still looks amazing at night. There's also a bit here that I really enjoy. Alright, it's getting up. So it's kind of a hard ride to team by itself, but I think I made it work here. There it is. Now this sequence took a much less amount of time than the water fountain on the other one. I think it took me like 40 minutes something. But it was still so much fun. And yeah, that's why it's the power plant. I really enjoy this weird structure here. Really feels improvised, really cool. And this queue, obviously, there's a lot of people that told me this is great park. It's like very vertical, very chaotic, crazy, but everything still fits. And I agree, except I wish it was more. I wish it was more chaotic, more crazy. After making it, like, I would say maybe halfway in, I was like, man, I wish I'd done it worse. I wish I'd done it higher, uh, crazier with the pathing. But it was too late at this point. I was really, deep in it. But I do plan on making something more vertical in the future, more crazy. This up area here, there's sort of a shopping mall. There's a very, I would say, industrial, empty feel to it, and I love it. It's not good, which makes it great. I can, I can really feel like, there's certain areas downtown, uh, where you have like this commercial district and you have basically nothing. There's just a lot of wind, lots of cars, boulevard kind of thing, and that's what it reminds me of. That's why I did it, and no decoration or anything. So right there, we got the observation deck. Nothing special to this. It's just a regular ride. I really enjoy this view for sure. One thing that I really enjoy about this is you have this path right here, and this path is right there, but it feels like an entire world of difference just because of the height. And there's one thing that I enjoy about the ride itself. It swings around, and it goes above, and you have this view down there. Let's go in the center here. It has this view down here, so it's sort of an added bonus of with the height. Makes it scarier. That part is cool. Here, can ride it. I I don't want to click on someone. Can I? There you go. Let's ride it for a moment. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. There we go. See this? Now that's a view. By the way, we have one of those at my local amusement park, and it's really fun. really, really fun. Those things are fun. It's not too big either, you know? You have a good amount of scary without removing the fun aspect of it. Um, so let's go up here. That is my favorite section of the park. This is, I call it the floating section because these buildings, you know, these people run out of space to the point where it's building on supports, on building on supports, and all the way down to, you know, the ground. But it's like these buildings, they don't touch the ground. The only access point is like this um, hatch here, trapdoor, whatever. So I love it. I really enjoy these buildings. A little market area here, which is currently empty because this ride is the ride that I've put in testing earlier during the stream. Normally there's people here. They come from the ride. The little market has a great view over the junkyard. Here, we're gonna come back to the junkyard later. Yeah, let's have a look at the ancient railway. So this ancient railway, great view by the way, over this. That's also one of the amazing protected views. Love it. We're gonna come back to this right as well later. The ancient railway is one of the few things that stood before the nuclear war. Laborer station. It's the only station remaining. Just gonna make sure. Here, let's take the other train. There you go. So this is a hybrid coaster. Now the thing with hybrid coasters is there's a lot of crazy wood support, huge things, and I didn't want to have these supports throughout the park, so I removed a bunch of them. But removing the supports also removes the catwalk. So this right there is a custom catwalk, and I also replaced these missing supports with custom supports. So let's ride this thing. You know, it's funny because I don't even know how many times I rode each of these rides. Just so many times, but I still enjoy riding them. It's still fun. Now, I was talking about custom supports. Here, let me show you closer. I made this thing here. So this little piece in the middle is too fragile to actually hold the supports, but I made these, you know, dual thing here. There's a bunch of them, and I really, really enjoy these. Like, I went really creative on the custom supports in this park, using the rooftops and everything. And I'll show you when we get to the last ride, because the last one has the most crazy supports. Here, not that we're done presenting this one, we can open it again for the guests. They're gonna be coming real quick. Well, here they are already. I guess they were passing by. Um, so yeah, next up. If we keep going this way, I just wanted to show you this is the multi-dimensional gate. It's, just basically that was a filler ride. I needed something in this area to put some lights, a security camera, because a security feature is enabled. So, and it has a 0% theft rate. I mean, all the theft are being cut every time. And that's mostly because of the 100% coverage of security cameras. But every single security camera in the park is on a wall, which means I needed a wall here. So, and also I didn't like that this whole area had nothing, basically. But yeah, we'll come back to that. Before we keep going, let's go back down to this thing. So, oh yeah, and I forgot one small detail I forgot to mention is the job designation building here. It's one of the ATMs. Why is it called job designation? Because in this place, I don't call it a park. It's this island where there's people living here. Basically, if you don't have a job for, I think it's a week, I don't remember. I actually made like the rules and everything somewhere. I don't have them with me right now. I don't have my notes. I forgot to take them. But yeah, like if you don't have a job for a week, you are designated a job, and if you don't want to do this job, well, security will take care of you. There's no prison, by the way. Um, so this right here is called the Rooftop Road. It's a great little go-kart thing. So let's ride this thing. It's gonna start in a moment. People are leaving. People are coming. There we go. Looks like we got a kid. Normally I hate the kids in the game because they keep squirming and moving in a very stupid way. But for go-karts, somehow they're calm. So let's go. This crazy support work here, um, that was an entire stream. Just one whole stream just for supports. I love making supports. I'll show the track again after, especially because we're definitely gonna be losing, and it's a one lap thing. Winner gets a second lap. The the circuit itself is very simple. So yeah, let's manually show this. The circuit itself is very simple, but I really wanted a go-kart track. Here, let me show you something real quick. The thing is, go-karts are the single biggest ride in the entire game. And you can see, I think we're gonna see better if we go at night. Yeah, there we go. We see the outline better now. Um, this is more than, but this is basically half of the entire island. I really, really wanted one. By the way, I heard people saying that go-karts don't make a profit. Just make sure you adjust your price. That's what matters. Because, yeah, go-karts make a ton of profit. Um, so yeah, let's go back to daytime here. See, just showing the park, it's it's too much money. That's why I usually play on pause, and it's better for performance as well. So yeah, great little track here. I had to figure out a way for this to pass. So I figured, you know what? Let's put it under the giant Ferris wheel, which this is the junkyard. I'll show in a moment. And this right there is actually the underneath of the ride. There's no, like you can see right there, it's the, it's that Ferris wheel, the lookout wheel. And yeah, I could have covered it, but I figured, you know what, let's use it. I never had the chance to use the bottom of a ride, so why not? Crazy pipes. Pipes are fun. Pipes are so much fun. I actually have a quote on my stream that's, well, you know what this thing needs? More pipes. I do lots of pipes. This is the, by the way, this is the Tesla burner. We'll come back to that. And but I love how you have a view here over all the fire. It goes real quick during the ride, so I like to manually go through the track for this. We can see here the multi-dimensional gate. That section again. Look how amazing it is. I really enjoy every single building. I could really look at every single one for like a good amount of time and the whole thing for hours. So this here, I could have just went above everything. I didn't want to do that. I could have went outward, like really outward. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to use the space. So I figured, hey, I could go above this path and under this one, and it fits. And it also created this cute little zigzag here. Oh, right, left, whoa. I really enjoy it. I love it. Also, same thing here. Above this track, under this track. This was built before this, so... And I love... this one was built afterward. I built just the station first. Then I built the whole go-kart. And then I finished this whole roller coaster. But I love how I use this space here, getting as close as possible and get such a view during the ride. And like this. Look how close it goes. It's really cool. I love it. That right there, we'll come back to it. It's the robot arm. So, exit is right here into this area, but we're just gonna go back here because we got a little cute place, the black market. And I think for this area I'm gonna switch back to nighttime because it's just very pretty. So this whole place, that's more of the chaotic thing with the floating buildings and everything. The lighting itself, there's part of it that comes from this ride. All the roller coasters have different lighting with different methods. So yeah, this one makes a lot of purple color, and there's one area over there that makes red color. I'll show that in a moment. So this right there, the robot arm that I was talking about, the entrance is right here. Cute little entrance under the path. I really enjoy how tight it is, all hidden under buildings and everything. And custom little neon thing here as well. It's one of the very few. I think there's two in all the entire parks. One here and one on the other side that we sort of skipped. Yeah, look at that lighting. That's beautiful. I keep clipping into things, but you know what? It's fine. There's a lot of things, so clipping is bound to happen. So yeah, as we go back up here, once again, amazing colors here. I'll go back to daytime still. We have a cute little view here over the track again. Just more craziness, right? So here, right there, it loops back to the multi-dimensional gate. And yeah, right there, this is the lookout wheel. Now this ride is actually the most boring ride in the game. It has the lowest I think, the lowest stats. I'm not sure. But it is extremely popular because it's a tourist type of ride. It has 160 seats and lasts for 10 minutes. 10 real life minutes. That's, I believe, an entire month in the game, which makes your profit, like your monthly profit, really weird. Um, like, it actually makes more money than that. It messes up with the numbers, basically. And you can't make it shorter than that. It's a terrible, terrible ride. Look how slow it is. I think it's just broken down, which is why it's currently running empty. The queue is also the biggest, longest queue in the entire park, which is why it's this big, this long. So let me show you the queue real quick. This was meant to be back alleys. So you have this craziness of pipes and exhausts and cables and everything, and you have this roof here, overhang above the track. And I love it. I love every part of it. Then you go here, and that right there is the junkyard. Now, when guests go in, some of them go straight in, some of them go around, but they really go around. They don't go through under the supports here. So that's why I decided, you know what, let's turn it into a junkyard. So I call it a junkyard, but it's really just spare parts. You know, unused woods, unused technology, cables, stuff like that. And there's one junkyard worker. Oh, there we go. It's not exactly empty. Looks like there's actually people in this. Oh, really? What a timing. Interesting. Um. So yeah, there's one person working in the junkyard, the junkyard keeper, and he lives in this little building right there. So yeah, it doesn't have a view over the market, but it does have a view over the go-karts. Interesting. I love how everything has a view over something else. So yeah, little junkyard hut, basically here. So yeah, let's keep going. This right there, that is the security area. So this whole area here before that, it's all, you know, buildings with overhangs, with signs that are just hanging with cables. And don't stand under this, it looks pretty rickety, you know, janky. Don't. People are standing underneath. If something happens, I'm not responsible, alright? This is not a safe place. Um, People die sometimes. Accidents happen, not in the game. But talking about the actual Slums Island thing, you know, security is not really a thing. I don't know if you noticed throughout the visit, but there was a bunch of balconies. I can probably show something real quick here. Uh, you know, like here. Someone would be leaving this, and then this is what you're stepping on. And then this is what you're stepping on. So it's not meant to be safe, it's meant to be crazy. So yeah, this area, like I was saying, everything's suspended with cables, and it's right next to security. Now, security is, well, there's a lot of sci-fi stuff where security is not here for the people. Security is here to protect the interests of the government, um, and you know, like also with corrupted countries. So this is security drone attack. Um, Basically, you are in a security drone and you're doing an attack run on the people. And that's the ride with the great lighting, the great purple and, well, purple pink-ish. And there's an area where it's red because you're actually doing the attack run. You're gonna see this. It's an inverted coaster and it's a two-seater. And there's actually a reason why it's two-seater. It's because if you want to ride it from the back, it doesn't block the view. I really hate when when you can't see in front of you, basically. So that's a case for stand-up coasters and suspended coasters, things like that. Most of them you can't see in front. But the two-seaters, like, it doesn't block too much of you. Yeah, security drone attack. Let's do the attack run. Love it. Love it. And my favorite part about this is actually when it goes under. It's actually right here. Like when it goes under here, that's also the maximum speed of the ride, which is 110. So it goes 110 right here. Like that's nuts. I love it. Um, so yeah, we're almost done with the tour, by the way. You can probably see from the duration of the video. So going back down here, it loops back to the park entrance. And going back up here, it loops back. By the way, I love this view. It loops back to the observation deck. But I love this building. It loops back to the observation deck, so everything loops back at this point. But we will stop here for the Tesla burner. That's my favorite ride in the entire park. In the entire island, I should say. Um, let's go back to nighttime here and ride this thing. It's the one with not the best stats, but people will ride a ride up to 5 nausea, so it's still good. The nausea factor is not really a big deal. What you really care about is the excitement and fear. Sort of a short, fun ride. Just really, really fun. And I don't know why I paused by habit. And yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to show. So there's a few things that I want to show here. First thing that I absolutely love is this view, the view in the station. As you're going in at the end, this view right there, you can see the ride here in the back, the tower here in the background. Just, the ride that goes through. Uh, it's fun, even if while you're waiting and then you see the ride just passing right above your head. Phew, this is amazing. And as you're getting out, and the ride is all around you, it's very imposing. You know, it's everywhere. It's intimidating. That fire there, I was trying to find a creative way of indicating, there's a launch delay, right? And a lot of people, what they do, they just put a timer, like a 3, 2, 1, go, something like that. Some audio cue. I wanted to do something special, and that's when it actually started having fire. Uh, that double loop, whoops, that really went wild right there, huh? So that double loop, I got inspired by. There's actually a piece asset when you're building this type of coaster that is a loop with a top hat, but it's kind of crappy. It's a fixed height and everything, size. I mean, and well, whatever height and size. So I decided, you know what? I'll make my own, and I really really enjoy it. And I got inspired by the fact that you can make tick tracks like this. Like from far away, it doesn't really show that this is not aligned, so I'm okay with that. Uh, and yeah, I got inspired by this to do this thing here, the double whatever it is, that tower thing. Um, it's just really cool. It's not exactly square actually. It's kind of rectangle. I had so much fun doing that. And it was very difficult for the G-forces because it needed to have enough speed on the second go without having too much speed on the first go. And I didn't want it to use any boosters or brakes or things like that. I find that trim brakes and boosters, it's good if you just want to make it work. But I think it's the mark of a good design when you don't need them. So I really wanted to avoid that. It goes here under the park entrance. Basically, I was running out of space. I had to use some of the park entrance island, like piece of land here. It's not an island. Um, so that's why actually the park entrance is this big on the right side, to completely hide the ride. I didn't want it to show from the entrance itself. Yeah, the fire there. That's really cool. Yeah, it's really, it's such a slick design, right? It's simple. I love it. It's really my favorite ride. Um, and yeah, decorating the station as well. It's a bunch of pipes and burners. It's just so much fun. Everything about this ride, it's really my favorite ride of all the parks so far. Of all the parks that I've built so far. Um, so yeah, that's the whole thing. And also it almost looks like Christmas at night. I love it. I hope you enjoyed the view. If you want to visit the park, it is on the workshop. Uh, yeah, it took me almost a year to build, which is surprising for something this small, right? such a mini park considering all the space that you have access to. I think the park limit is like here, yeah, all the way here. So I have a bunch of unused space, and that's actually something that I would suggest to everyone. You should limit yourself, not necessarily this small area. Maybe the whole lake area should be the size of your park, but I strongly believe that you should use the edge for like fading into the horizon instead of having like a hard edge around your park, and then the horizon becomes sort of in spite of your park rather than using it. Um, yeah. I hope you enjoyed the view. I had a great time building it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.